Gentleman from Maryland.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And Professor Cooper, let me just pick up with what you just said. You testified that it was actually growth in healthcare prices and insurance prices that is really driving the cost increases, not so much fraud. But then you mentioned that there were 850 insurance agents and brokers who were suspected of fraud, waste, and abuse, who had been removed by the Biden administration. And then, this is somewhat of a bombshell, I think, tucked in the GAO report, all 850 of those shady insurance agents and brokers accused of fraud were allowed back into the marketplace that they were suspected of defrauding. Did I hear that right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Well, I know you don't think fraud is the big deal here, but that can't be a sound practice. Can it be, to have the Trump administration restoring potentially fraudulent brokers and agents to the government, to the program?
If your goal, Congressman Raskin, is to reduce fraud, that's not what I would do. Okay,
so Mr. Bogdoyan, let me come to you. You identify in your report potential risks for fraud in the ACA program. Just to be clear, are those kinds of potential risks you identified unique to the ACA program, or are those potentially present in all healthcare programs or all government programs?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you for asking it. You know, the indicators for identity proofing and eligibility determination, those are the key ones that pretty much run the gamut of any kind of a
good. And so just to follow up on that, this also is not something new that's taking place now, or was not new in the last administration. You identified that potential risk of fraud went back to 2014, right?
That's when we first started this work, sir, yes.
Okay, so it seems to me that really this hearing should be about what is the administration doing to confront this risk of abuse that has been, in place for more than a decade. So can anybody answer what Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at HHS and Mehmet Oz are actually doing about the potential kinds of fraud that go back to 2014? I don't know. Dr. Blaze, can you answer that?
Yes, thank you for that question, Congressman. The administration did a final rule on exchange program integrity that included a lot of policies that would reduce the fraud. One of them was to have a $5 minimum payment, to review people's eligibility prior to continuing enrollment, to address issues with auto re-enrollment. That rule was stayed by one judge, so it wasn't in effect. The reconciliation bill actually has three important provisions to address some of the fraud. It will require enrollees starting in 2028 to take action prior to being auto re-enrolled, so the insurer won't be able to just keep them in the plan. The enrollee will have to do something.
Yeah.
It addresses, the Biden administration opened up a enrollment for anyone claiming income in a certain category at any point in the year. And I mean, the GAO report showed just how vulnerable the exchanges were. So that is called the special enrollment period, significantly opened up the opportunity for fraud.
Let me just stop you because I'm running out of time here. The United States District Court in Maryland struck down that rule, state enforcement of that rule, as I understand it, right? And that was based on the report that you prepared? Is that the Paragon report? Am I getting that right?
No, so there were commentators that cited the Paragon report, and so the judge in his decision said that CMS didn't do an adequate explanation of describing the policy. There was also another judge in a Massachusetts court that looked at the same issue and threw out the challenge.
Okay, but so let me, here's what the court said. This is not really my field, but it said, defendants are not free to support a rule change with data of questionable validity and limited relevance, and then refuse to engage with commenters' reasonable concerns that the data fails to support the conclusion the agency drew from the data. And so the court essentially rejected the underlying methodology and the data that was collected.
Well, the court didn't look at the Paragon report. The court looked at the commentators that wrote about the Paragon report. And I can tell you, Congressman, CBO has cited that report in their work. CBO has estimated improper enrollment in the exchange. and CBO's estimates are consistent with what Paragon produced.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And, I just hope that the administration will take the problem of fraud and abuse seriously and work on it because the tools exist now. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Chairman. I yield back to you.
I thank the ranking member. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions quickly because I want